In this video, we're going to be breaking down the 2018 Oklahoma Sooners, an offense that blended elite quarterback play with a dynamic spread attack to create one of the most efficient scoring offenses in college football history. Led by star quarterback Kyler Murray and one of the brightest young minds in the sport in Lincoln Riley, this offense carved up defenses with an unstoppable mix of RPOs, deep shots, and a dominant ground game. By the end of this video, you'll have the formation setups and strategies to recreate this explosive offense and dominate in college football 25. In this series, we're going to break down each of these legendary offenses into their own video, showing you exactly how each one dominated, but instead of running them separately, we're going to be combining their best elements into one complete scheme, and it's all going to be run out of the Georgia playbook. Now, the 2018 Sooners were more than just explosive, they were surgical. Their offensive philosophy revolved around spacing, tempo, and elite playmaking, maximizing every inch of the field to force defenses into a no-win situation. So what made them special? First up, elite dual threat quarterback play. Kyler Murray put together one of the most electrifying seasons in college football history, winning the Heisman Trophy with 4,361 passing yards, 42 touchdowns, and over 1,000 yards rushing. His ability to extend plays and deliver pinpoint deep balls made this offense impossible to contain. Lincoln Riley's RPO and spread concepts. Riley built his offense around run-pass options and play-action deep shots, with wide receiver spacing making it difficult for defenses to key in on any one aspect of the attack. Explosive playmakers. With weapons like Marquise Hollywood Brown, CeeDee Lamb, and Trey Sermon, Oklahoma had speed and versatility at every position. Brown stretched the field vertically, Lamb dominated in contested catch situations, and Sermon was a physical yet elusive presence in the run game. Then they had the perfect balance of run and pass. Oklahoma averaged 6.6 yards per rush and 11.3 yards per pass, creating one of the most efficient offenses in college football history. The combination of an elite ground attack and deadly vertical passing game made stopping this offense nearly impossible. Now, the first formation we're looking at is gun wing slot weak. This is a shotgun wing formation, so that gives us two wide receivers on one side and two tight ends to the other. Now, this is going to be a great formation that is built around a cheap motion from our tight end, and off of this, we're going to have some really good RPOs and screenplays we can use, but then to counter off those, we're going to have some really explosive pass plays that use that same motion as well that we can use to hit vertical shots down the field. So the run we're starting with in this formation is motion RPO buck alert. This is a great play that gives us some really good options to move the ball for easy yards. So this play all starts with an auto motion from our tight end across the formation, and now once the ball is snapped, he will become a lead blocker for our screen on that side. So now if we have the numbers advantage and the cornerback over the wide receiver is dropping back, then you can just flip it out to the wide receiver screen, and you're going to have some great blocking here that can help carry you for some big pickups. Then if at the snap you look and the screen isn't open, then you can just hand the ball off to your running back on this play, and here we're going to have both guards pulling across the formation, and these will be your lead blockers, and once you see them pick up their blocks, you can just fire out from behind them and get to the second level where you can be a playmaker with the ball in your hands. Next up, we have motion fake screen wheel. Now this play is going to start with the same auto motion across the formation as our RPO play, but now it is going to turn into a great vertical shot concept that we can use to push the ball down the field. To set this up, come out with your tight ends to the wide side and then take the tight end who isn't on the auto motion and put him on a streak. Then take the inside slot receiver on the short side and put him on a streak. Then lastly, take the outside receiver on the short side and put him on a deep crosser. Now our first read here will be the auto motion tight end, and he's just going to wheel up the sideline, and as this is happening, we'll have our streak on this side pulling back the deep blue defender, and once the tight end clears in behind the flat, then we can just drop it in down the field to the tight end in the hole. So then once you snap it, if you do see your tight end is taken away and he's not getting open in that kind of spot behind the flats, then we want to come work back inside to the deep cross, and if the user and linebackers are staying shallow, then you can just fire this deep over the middle of the field for another massive gain. Then the last option on this play is going to be our running back on the hitch, and if everything is covered deep, then this will just be our check down, and we can just drop it down to him for some easy yards. Next up, we have spread Y flex. This is a shotgun 2x2 formation with a slot receiver on each side of the field, and this is a super common formation that the Sooners would have run. Now, this is a great balanced formation where we can have some really good RPOs and screens that will attack defenses all over the field. Then there's some really good pass plays that we can use to attack both man and zone coverage. The first play we're looking at in this formation is Y cross. This is a great zone beater that is a classic air raid concept that can give us a ton of options attacking the middle of the field, and we're going to put the user in a tough bind. So to set this up, come out with your running back to the short side of the field, then take your slot receiver on the wide side and put him on a hitch, then take your RB and put him on a swing pass, and that is it. Now to start this play off, I always like to look at the hitch on the wide side of the field, and if at the snap I see the linebackers and flat defender are dropping back and leaving the hitch open, then just throw it to him right away and you can pick up 7 to 8 yards every single time. Next, if you see the linebackers or flat defender bite down on the hitch, then we want to look to the cross. Now he can get in behind the flat defender on the wide side of the field and you can throw it deep over there, or if at the snap you see the linebackers leave the middle, then you can throw the crosser quickly as he breaks over the middle of the field. Then if the cross is taken away and it pulls the linebackers in the middle of the field, then you can look to the backside spot route as he sits down in the zone, and if the flat on this side bites down on the running back swing pass, then you can just throw the sit route. Then the check down on this play, if everyone is dropping out, is going to be the running back on the swing pass. This is a great option if the whole defense is playing under the deeper routes. Then the other play we're looking at in this formation is Y sail. This is a great man-beating setup that has some powerful stock man-beating routes to get a ton of separation. It should make it really easy to gain yards versus man defenses. So to set this up, come out with your running back to the wide side of the field, and then we can have a few options with him. You can leave him on his flat route, you can put him on a Texas route, or if you think they're blitzing, then you can block him, and then that is the whole setup. Now the first read on this play is going to be the wide side slot receiver on his out route. This is going to be a great man-beating route, and you want to throw this as he breaks to the outside, and this is going to get a ton of separation versus man coverage. Next, we have multiple routes attacking the middle, and if the user stays back on the deep dig, then you can throw the running back Texas route as he breaks shallow over the middle, and this can be a really good option. Then if at the snap the user bites down on the Texas route, then you want to look to the dig as he breaks back over the middle, and this will be our third option on this play. Then lastly, if they're bringing pressure or there just isn't anything open down the field, then we have our slot receiver on the short side on the whip route, and he's going to break to the outside and is a really good final option. Then our third formation is going to be trips tight end offset weak. This is a shotgun formation with the trips to one side and an inline tight end to the other. This is an amazing spread type formation, and a ton of the plays we are going to use are built around this return motion from our slot receiver, and we will throw it out to him for some screen passes. Then we have a ton of pass options that use that same motion that are going to be great to use off the RPO as well. Okay, the play we're looking at in this formation is fake screen wheel, and this is a super unique bomb play that can get open for one play touchdowns against cover 3 and cover 2 defenses, and it is one of my favorites that I have used all year. Now to set this up, come out with your trips to the short side of the field, then take your tight end and put him on a corner route, then take your outside receiver on the wide side and put him on a deep cross, and that is the whole setup. Now first, a bomb cover 3. Here we're going to be looking at the middle safety, and he's going to stay shallow because of the deep crosser coming into the middle of the field, and then this inside fade will get in behind the safety, and once he clears, we just want to let this ball fly, and you can bomb this over the safety's head for huge plays. The key on this play will be the pass lead. Make sure you're pass leading up and to the inside as much as you can, so you can drop it in over that middle safety's head and keep it away from the backside corner who's going to come over. Then against cover 2, it'll work pretty much the same, but now this middle receiver will split the two safeties, and you can bomb them up over the top for huge bombs. But then on this play, if they have a mid read who is getting back and covering the streak, then we also have our wheel route on the trip side, and now he should get up in behind the flat defender, and once he clears, now we can just drop this in for a whole shot behind that corner in cover 2. Now this play is designed to beat cover 3 and cover 2, but if they do switch up their coverage and call man, we have two options you can go to. You can throw the tight end corner route as he breaks out, or you can throw the deep crossing route as he breaks over the middle. Then if you want to take your college football 25 game to the next level, you need to check out my website, Scheme Kings. Up right now, we have part 2 of this Oklahoma offense where I give you guys 10 more plays with even more RPOs and QB runs for this offense, along with a ton more plays to attack man and zone coverage deep down the field for explosive plays. Then there's a ton more on the site for this super spread offense, including my 2019 LSU and 2020 offensive schemes. Then I also have a ton of offensive stuff on the site, like my new dual threat QB offense, where I'm breaking down 6 of the greatest running quarterbacks of all time and how you can use them to their full potential in both Madden and college football 25. Then I also have my spread to run offense where I broke down 3 of the best college football offenses ever. Then I have full defenses on the site, like my Nick Saban defensive scheme and my Bill Belichick defensive scheme, and they are for Madden and college football as well. So by subscribing to the site, you'll get access to all of my Madden 25 content and college football 25 content for one price. And on the site, you can purchase the yearly membership, which will save you $50 over the course of the year. And if you want to check out the site, I will link it down below. Now, in this section, we're going to break down what we can learn from the real-life implementation of this OU offensive scheme and how we can apply those strategies to our attack in college football 25. So one of the super underrated aspects of the Oklahoma offense was, even though they were a spread attack who passed the ball all over the yard, they could really dominate running the ball, and we are going to do the same. Now, Oklahoma in this era loved to run counters where they would have multiple pullers coming across the formation to blow defenses off the ball, and this could allow them to hit a ton of explosives on the ground. And this HB counter U in wing slot weak is going to let us do the same thing. So this play will start with our running back stepping to the strong side, then countering back out the other way. And now we're going to have our guard and tight end pulling back and becoming his lead blockers. And now they can spring you and let you pick up some big yards. The key on this run is to be patient and let these blocks set up before you explode out from behind them. And then because Oklahoma had one of the fastest quarterbacks in college football history in Kyler Murray, they made sure to use his legs to be a big part of their run game. So we have the play RPO, read bubble, and trips tight end offset weak. This play starts with a read option, so if the end crashes, you can keep the ball with your quarterback, get into the second level, and make some big plays. Then if the DN stays back on the quarterback, then you can hand it off to your running back, and because they're going to be keeping their defenders to play the QB, this should open up a ton more for the inside runs. Then the last part of this play, if at the snap you see you have the numbers advantage on the outside, then you can throw the wide receiver bubble screen for our third option on this play, and this can be a great way to put defenses in a no-win situation defensively. The Sooners also love to use constraint plays. These feature a motion or an element of the play that defenses will cheat to stop. Then once we have them cheating, we can go to the next variation of the play, and with this we can make that defense pay for overcommitting. So the first part of our constraint series will be return RPO alert swing. We want to run this with the trips to the wide side of the field, and it all starts with our slot receiver running an auto motion up to the QB, and then at the snap he will shoot out for a screen pass out on the perimeter. And if the defense gets caught inside, then you can just flip it out to him and pick up some big yards. This is a great way to get one of our playmakers the ball in space to make plays. Then if once you snap it, you look and you see they shut down the outside, then we can just hand the ball off to our running back up the middle, and if the user leaves the middle to take the wide receiver screen, this should open up the inside run plays even more. Then the next part of the constraint series will be return post curl. This play starts with the same wide receiver motion as the RPO, but now it's a pass play where we can pull the user out of the middle of the field, and this can open a ton of options up to attack through the air. To set this up, come out with their trips to the wide side of the field, then you can take your running back and put them on a swing pass to the short side of the field, and that is it. Now this play starts with that same motion. If we can get the user to leave the middle to take that swing, where then we're going to have this post from the other slot breaking inside, and now we can just fire this ball in, and this can be our go-to route on this play, and it can be super deadly. Then if the user stays in the middle, we're going to have two other options. We can stay working the wide side, and we can have our curl route sitting down. Then if the flat bites down on the swing, then we can just throw the curl as he sits down in the zone. Then we can also work the short side of the field, and we can high-low that flat defender. So if he bites down, then you can throw the corner route as he breaks in along the sideline. Then if everything is covered deep, we have our swing pass to the running back as our check down option on this play. Now with just what you have here for this Sooners attack, you will be in a great spot. But remember, there's part 2 of this offense up right now on Scheme Kings that is going to make this whole Oklahoma scheme way more difficult to stop. But then if you want a full breakdown of the idea behind my super spread offense and a deep dive into the personnel we're going to be using for this scheme, then you need to check out the intro video for the whole offense right here.